Hi everyone, my name's Sarah, and Mike has asked me to come on and contribute to his 25 days of mental health. So thank you for the invite, Mike. This was supposed to be an interview, but we are both struggling to get time to meet between now and Christmas. So Mike asked me if I could pre-record. And today's topic is PTSD. So it's not something I've ever spoken about in a public forum before, so feeling a little bit nervous and apprehensive. I do videos now and again for business, but I think this is going to feel like I'm stripping off a little bit, so feeling a wee bit nervous. But I've decided that I'm going to be brave, and if this video can help one other person, then it's worth me doing it. So hopefully it does help someone else that's out there listening. And I have written down some notes just to keep me right. I was worried that I would either potentially end up rambling on a bit too much or just for the nerves really. Or if I become emotional, at least I've got something to keep me on the straight and narrow. So let's get started. So what is PTSD? Now, for those of you that don't know what it actually means, it's post-traumatic stress disorder. Now, PTSD is a mental health condition, and it's caused by a traumatic event. Now, a traumatic event can be one of many things. It could be witnessing somebody else going through something traumatic, or it could be going through something traumatic yourself. To give you an idea of what that could be, it could be a road traffic accident, it could be an assault, it could be an injury, it could be even a traumatic childbirth. So, there's a lot of different reasons as to why somebody could be suffering with PTSD. Now, this traumatic experience becomes somebody's truth. And often that truth is something that, they can't talk about. It's something that they struggle to acknowledge themselves, let alone discuss it with somebody else. It's a truth that can take over your body and mind. PTSD is very powerful in what it can do to somebody's brain, and I'll go into that in a little bit. And it's also a truth that many believe will define them. And it's certainly a fear that I had in the early stages of my PTSD, especially after I was diagnosed, where I thought, does this now define me? It's a label. That's something that people can struggle with, because it's a scar that no one else can see. Now, we say that a lot about mental health conditions, but PTSD is often something that people go through on a very personal level, but those around them may not be aware of it. So when no two situations are the same. No two people suffering with PTSD are the same. So first of all, I want to go back to some of the words that come to mind for me when I think back to, near the event of the trauma that I personally went through. And those words are flashbacks, recurring nightmares, constant reminders, an awareness of my senses, intrusive thoughts, anxiety, nausea, anger, guilt, numbness, irritability, dizziness, shame, feeling detached, depression, self-destruction, self-harm, medicated, CBT, therapy, EMDR, counsellors, psychologists, psychiatrists. The list really does go on. Now, like I said before, no two situations of PTSD are the same, but for anyone that has been through it or is going through it right now, I'm sure that some of those words will ring true for you. So what can those lead to? So for me, I struggled to trust people. I struggled to trust myself. I worried whether people were going to judge me. I didn't always feel safe. I didn't believe that anyone else could understand what I was going through. I had a lot of self-blame and guilt about what had happened. I had a lot of anger. I had overwhelm and numbness all at the same time. And I didn't think you could suffer with overwhelm and numbness at the same time. But to be honest, most people that are listening to this video that know me probably are quite shocked right now, and probably have no idea that I've been in this deep when it comes to mental health, because I became an expert at putting up a front, seeming okay, appearing happy, outgoing, and some may even say I was confident. But I can assure you that for many years that was a makeup. It was a mask, it was a barrier, but it did come down. Because eventually, and believe me, it took years, but I got the help that I needed, and it really did change my life. I would not be on here speaking about this if I was still in the place that I was many years ago. So I know for many of you, for anyone that's living with PTSD right now, that light at the end of the tunnel probably seems impossible. But I promise you that it is possible. But you need to give yourself time to heal. Self-care is really important, and potentially some professional support. I definitely need the professional support to get me to where I am today. And if you do go to somebody for help and you feel like it's not working, please don't give up. Finding the right therapist, whether that be a counsellor, psychologist, psychiatrist, is a bit like dating. There's the right fit for everyone out there, but sometimes you need to kiss a few frogs. I personally was on my 4th therapist before I found somebody that could really help me, and she was amazing. It was a really long journey for me, but I did get there. And what I don't want to do, I guess, in this call is live on the past. I want to tell you where I am now. So today, when I think about the effects of my own PTSD, I actually feel quite positive day to day. Obviously, I was nervous about doing this video, but I am positive, and I never thought that I would be able to say that. The words that come into my mind now are things like strong, resilient, self-aware, and even proud. Because I did survive. I can be loved. I can love. I can trust. I can be happy. And I can show up as me. Now, not everyone's going to like me or accept me, but that's okay. But I now know that I can show up as me. I'm very grateful to be a mother of a beautifully crazy 4-year-old boy, Jacob. I've got a wonderful husband. I've got friends and family around to love and support me. And I have a job that I absolutely love. I run a business and I have an amazing co-director and team to work with. And I really do feel truly blessed. But don't get me wrong. I don't believe that I will ever forget what happened to me. And now and again, it will come back to bite me in the ass. And it has done earlier this year, actually. I think with lockdown and I guess feeling that lack of control again, I started to get some of those side effects again of PTSD. But I recognise the signs now. I know when I'm not okay. I know when I need to reach out for help. I know the importance of self-love and self-care. And I know that when those negative thoughts come to me, that I need to process them, I need to deal with them, and I need to, just not compress them, which is what I did for a long time, was I didn't deal with those negative thoughts. But it's really important that we do process them. At the end of the day, life is a roller coaster. It's got plenty of ups and downs, sharp bends and twists to keep us all on our toes and to test us. And if, many of you may have struggled with mental health, or you will one day. So if I can give any advice on this video, it would be to talk. And if you can't talk yet, then start with writing stuff down. Get those thoughts out. It really helped me in the early days to process my thoughts. The early days I tried to talk. I really tried hard, but the words just wouldn't come. I just froze. So I used to do a lot of writing, actually. And different people do this in different ways. Some people start with art, exercise, songwriting, poetry, really just anything to express yourself and turn these thoughts and these, I guess, words into something that matters to you. But it's really powerful. It's more powerful than you would think, just to process those thoughts and feelings. So whatever you're going through, just keep going. Just keep moving. Take every day at a time, or if needed, take it every hour at a time. There's been times in my life where a day even felt like too much. An hour was all I could handle, and that's okay. But you just need to keep moving. Just keep going. And try not to compare yourself to other people. Try and stay in your own lane, stay on your own journey, on your own path, whatever you want to call it. Just keep moving, but don't compare to yourself to others, because it will hold you back. You know, other people are not going through what you're going through. They have their own journey, they have their own truths, you know, they have their own story. So just try and focus on you. If anyone on here is living with PTSD, please also feel free to reach out to me. I am always willing to help and to listen. I've had a lot of help over the years, and I do feel like it's important for us all to give back. And I promise that I do care. I will truly listen to you. I will believe you, and I won't judge you. And it's completely confidential. I'll also ask Mike to post some links in the comments on where we can go for support around PTSD. So I'm aware of time. He told me to keep it to around 10 minutes, and that's us at 11. So hopefully something has rung true for somebody. It wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be to do this video. Didn't hurt too bad. But I wanted to say thanks again to Mike. He's constantly inspiring and motivating so many of us. And I've always been so inspired at, even though I know it's not easy for him, he manages to dig deep and pull out and share his personal stories, his personal truths, his pains to help others. And I've been personally inspired by that. I've also been inspired by his amazing partner, Yolanda, who I've had the pleasure to get to know in the last couple of months. She's also an absolute inspiration. So thanks again. And like Mike always says, stay positive, good to go. And I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Take care, everyone. Bye.